If the general election were held in January, President Museveni would have scored a landslide, according to the latest survey conducted by the Afrobarometer research firm. Their second report, coming on the heels of the December opinion poll, shows the incumbent would score 65%, leaving his closest rival, the IPC candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye, at a dismal 15%. This report shows a slight improvement for the incumbent. In December, his support stood at 64%. Besigye also improved slightly from 12% during the December survey to 15% currently. With a margin of error of 2.5%, here's a breakdown of the candidate's strengths across the different indicators. Yoweri Museveni, who is the NRM flag bearer, is at 65%, while Kizza Besigye, who is the IPC flag bearer, is at 15%. Norbert Mao, the DP presidential candidate, is at 3%, while Olaro Tunu, the UPC presidential candidate, is at 3%. Olive Kamya, the Uganda Federal Alliance presidential candidate, is at 2%, while Abed Manika of the PDP party is at 0%. Bidandi Sali of the PPP party and Sam Lubega, who is standing on the independent platform, both scored 0%. In Central, Museveni has 56%, Western Uganda 78%, Northern Uganda 68%, Eastern Uganda 63%, and Kampala 45%. His closest rival, Besigye, scored a measly 15% in both the Central and Western regions, 11% in the North, 17% in the East, and 19% in Kampala. On the urban-rural front, Museveni still beats Besigye by 57% in the urban center and 67% in the rural areas, while Besigye scored 15% for both urban and rural areas. The report is, however, silent on how the Central region will likely vote after the controversial Traditional Leaders Bill was acrimoniously passed into law.
By the time we went to ask about the Traditional Leaders Bill, 50% of them said that they did not know. They hadn't heard about the Traditional Leaders Bill. Would this cause you to change who you vote for? 10% said that, yes, if the bill passed into law, they would change who they are going to vote for president and who they are going to vote for MP.
One of the weaknesses in the survey is that only a paltry 33% were interviewed, while about 65% feared to state their candidate of choice.
And honestly, I believe if you ask this question, and I can testify for all where we have asked it across the African countries, always a majority of people come up saying you have to be careful of what you have to say about politics.
The most striking outcome of this survey is the grim prediction for the opposition in northern Uganda, which shows Museveni in a commanding lead. However, there's been a semblance of peace in the north after the LRA changed locales and fled into the jungles in the DR Congo. Whereas the NRM will chest stamp about the Afrobarometer, the opposition, especially the IPC, will pray that the accuracy of the poll is not in tandem with the true political landscape. Emam Taizibwa, NTV Tonight.